Good evening, folks, and welcome to the Six Figure Developer live stream, Live Coding Live Wednesday. We are working on personal projects. Look at that. I'm sort of half transparent. That's great. I like it. Welcome, everybody. This is live stream, Live Coding Wednesday, where we work on personal projects and roast each other a little bit along the way, look to chat for support and ideas and thoughts. This week, we thought we would continue work on SpeakerMeet. SpeakerMeet is a website for speakers, conferences, and communities for technology, speakers, and stuff. Front end in React, back end API in .NET 5, all hosted in Azure using some Azure services, Azure Cognitive Search, blob storage, and static websites for image serving. Probably some other things that I'm forgetting about now. But it's been a while since we've worked on this. Even if we spell names really wrong, then we do get results. And look at both of the Johns up there. Well, technically, I guess there are 3 Johns up there. And a Sean, because Sean sounds like John. But welcome, chat. Appreciate you being here. This week, I think we are going to work on multi-stage pipelines. Right now, the code is all hosted in GitHub. So if anyone wants to follow along at home and play along with us, you're welcome to submit pull requests, fork the repos, and do all the things with the site and the API. They are hosted in different repos. We're currently using GitHub Actions to deploy to Azure. But we've started introducing Azure pipelines as well. Tonight we're going to work on multi-stage pipelines. So, where do we want to start? We've got the code up, got the solution up, got the Azure Pipelines YAML up. YAML, because that's how you know you're cloud native.
And I am...
Are you in the live share?
No, not yet. I'm just floundering for some stupid reason.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah. Okay, I think I might be there. I have to, manually sign in. I'm not, the links are just not working right.
And we see we've got Freaking Ward in chat. Appreciate you. Who else is in chat? Who else we got? I see some lurkers. I'll leave it to them to announce themselves. Wes is here. Tech Workbench is lurking for now. Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Hey, look, there's Ash's email address if anybody wants that. Oh, it's gone.
Perfect. Okay. I'm here now.
Wes is dropping balls. That's interesting. Yeah, play along with the drop game. In this as well, we've got the... So in our pipelines currently, or at least in the Azure pipeline that we've added, we are also running SonarQube to run some static code analysis and get some code coverage on that as well. For this is just our base build. It is not yet deploying anywhere in Azure pipelines. Currently, the GitHub Actions is handling that for us. I think we decided before going live on stream that we were just going to wrap this in a single stage for our current setup, right?
Yeah. So I just posted a link in chat, which is the Azure docs for stages. So, yeah, it's pretty simple. Basically, right now everything is, if you will, one stage, and it's just a step. You have a bunch of steps. It's even sort of one job. So when you introduce stages, you also introduce a concept of jobs as well. And
So
yep.
do steps and tasks continue, or go ahead. I'll let you
So
continue.
steps and tasks are basically just part of a job. And so in order to wrap this in a single stage, we basically have to wrap it in. We have to have a stage, or stages that will have a stage, and then a stage. The stage will have jobs, and then the jobs will have a job, and then that job will have exactly what we have here.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'm going to go here and copy and paste that.
Yep.
Ta-da.
And since this is YAML, everything just broke, but I wouldn't know that.
Yep. Exactly. But
So do I
really,
just-
it's just a matter of pushing it out. Yep.
And then we're done.
Let's see here. No.
Yep, end of stream.
Nope.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you coming.
First off, we have jobs, but we need to have a job.
Oh, I missed a thing. Hold on. Let me undo everything. All right. See, this is why you can't copy and paste straight from Stack Overflow.
And you got to fire up 3 pods.
No, we're not Kubernetes yet. Not yet. We'll get there. There we go. So now this is build and test.
Yep. Although, yeah, well, I don't know how much we want to run into problems. You can't have spaces in the name there.
Of course not. Why? Because
I think you should have let him figure it out. We're going to run these, right?
Yeah.
are we done?
So
I think we might be done. It might actually just work.
Perfect. What do you think? Just straight to master?
Yeah, just commit straight. I would
All right.
commit all these
Let's do it.
straight
Yeah,
to master.
let's do it.
And if we made some sort of syntactical error, it should tell us right away.
Ooh. So Tech Workbench has a question that I'm still deciphering, but Wesley wants to know if you can add quotes and then have spaces.
I don't believe so. I don't believe so. Maybe.
It's
You can
YAML.
definitely.
Doesn't make any sense.
I don't think it does. I don't think you can. There's a display name attribute, which you can pretty much put on everything, and then you can add quotes and add spaces. But
All right, so
I don't know. I've not tried that.
if you have public bool is bot that returns status equals enum.bot, the status is part of the same model. Would this be evaluated during instantiation of the model or when the property is accessed? It should only be when the property is accessed,
Shit broke.
right?
Oh, broke.
No, that's working.
That's exactly what we expected to happen.
It has detected YAML inconsistencies.
Yeah,
Is that
of course.
right, guys? The get accessor on
get over
a property is evaluated only on get, not on instantiation.
So your pool, I couldn't find a pool that is build pool.
Okay. I'm sorry. I don't know. I would probably just write a test and figure out.
Tech Workbench, I think that it should be only evaluated on get, so only when you access it, not necessarily when the when the class is instantiated, but not a situation that I have happen very often.
So as for our issue here, it's really easy. Delete
All of it.
21. So you've defined the pool on line 9. You don't need to define it again unless it needs to change.
Tech Workbench, are we interviewing for a job we don't know about? Is that what's up with the question? Is there-
Things are happening.
Can you?
I'm excited.
Can you convert your YAML into ERB and then use a subsystem to compile the ERB into YAML for the pipeline?
That sounds exactly like something you would do. So go for it.
So now we should have the nice little. If we go back one level, 2. Even back one more, maybe?
That's all I got.
No.
Wesley, you're a pro.
Maybe
Thanks.
maybe just because it's 1.
Yeah, actually, that's what I was looking for. Is where's the graphic-y thingy?
Graphic-y thingy.
It should have been.
Yeah, with multi-stage pipelines, you get a different representation.
It should have been right B.
Oh, you're talking about
This
yeah.
thing.
Well, for right here, you'll still only have one stage, so. And yeah, so. And we only have one job. So one of the nice things is like, you're building. You have your APIs. So this is one of the areas where I think multi-stage pipelines can be pretty handy. Let's say you wanted to build and deploy your API and your UI together. Then we could have one pipeline that handled this, and then I would say separate your API into one job and your UI into the other job, and then they could run in parallel. But then they both
Only if I had 2 agents, though, right?
Yes, that's true. But since this is public, right? Have you made this public?
This is not public.
Oh,
I don't believe so.
Is your well, why didn't you make it public?
Why not?
Because you get 10 free agents.
Well, I've got one free one. That's all I need.
But anyways, yeah. So that would be one way. So you could basically wrap both of those things and say, well, we want both of these things, both of those jobs to continue to like complete inside of the same stage, because we want build to happen, and maybe we even want the publish to happen only after both of those have been completed. So,
But what if I only want to build one and publish one?
well, then you can keep it separate. That's fine.
I want it separate.
Yeah, got to keep them separated
Why?
because that's
Pay
what the
no
song
mind.
says. Ash is lost.
Yeah,
I'm lost.
Ash doesn't do pop culture references, even from the 90s.
It's fun.
Kids today.
All right. So then we were thinking, okay, well, what can we do to separate these things out? So the obvious delineations to me in general for stages are
Build and deploy.
build, and then whatever deployment. So you might have a release or like go into integration. So and then from integration, you might want to go into a stage that deploys out to a QA or some sort of staging environment, and then you might want to deploys out to prod, right? And so each one of those stages can be a little bit different.
Wesley, this is why we say that Ash is Amish. It's
Well, I mean, this is one of the reasons. Yes. So it'd be like publish to QA.
Yep.
Well, that'd be another reason.
Yep.
Yes.
So-
yeah, that's another one. Yes.
That was. Before we will get to those, so the one thing about multi-stage pipeline, you can certainly do in the deployment, you can do jobs that are just regular jobs, but then they also have deployment jobs, which are like a special kind of job, and those interact.
Should we go
with,
over here? And then we get the fancy UI.
Huh?
Oh no, you're not allowed to use the UI anymore. It's all YAML.
No, you can't.
You gotta write it. Nope, you gotta write it.
Nope.
Straight in the code.
Nope.
Wait, how is the web interface for YAML better than the Visual
Right.
Studio interface?
Right?
And probably the VS Code. And I don't think I've ever paid attention to VS Code, but
I mean, the VS Code is not bad.
is it this?
Yes.
Ooh, condition. What was that?
I mean, what
I don't know.
what do
depends
you
on-
see here? Like the collapsing lines and all that sort of jazz?
And
No,
the
no, no,
IntelliSense.
the
It's telling me
IntelliSense,
what
like,
I'm.
IntelliSense?
He doesn't even have to know what he can just wait for IntelliSense.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I have that in Visual Studio Code.
I'm not in code. I'm in Visual Studio.
For YAML.
Yeah, for YAML.
Okay, I haven't done
In
YAML
Visual Studio?
in VS
I'm
Code.
Visual- So I'm in Visual Studio right
Studio
now.
Code.
Right.
No,
I'm-
no, in
I
Visual
don't- I don't-
Studio, you're screwed.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Okay.
But it is the same. It probably is the same, possibly even the same code.
It very well could be.
Sure.
Because I'm pretty sure the Visual Studio Visual Studio Code is basically just like a web.
It's TypeScript. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Does that work?
You don't even need that.
It's mad at you. You
Aw.
got
The
squiggles.
you do want the stage. I think you do want the stage deploy to be. Actually, you don't even need that. So you can add the stages are not parallelized, so they are in the order. But you can also add it. Depends on if that's necessary. If it gets so it's like by definition sequential until you want to make it not sequential, then you have to add all of the depends on.
Okay.
Depends.
Yeah, I agree, Wesley. I use VS Code for all the front end stuff that I do. Well,
Yeah.
except for Blazor.
Yeah. Visual Studio for C#. This was I was in the C# project in the .NET 5 API.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you were editing YAML, which is not C#.
So yeah, I pulled them up separately. Same project. But anyways,
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
so-
you were
okay, so
also
we
the
want-
one that was editing one project in your Linux distro of your
Yeah.
WSL2
what's your point?
versus the other one on your Windows instance in two different instances of Visual Studio Code and couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah,
But that was for demonstration purposes.
Right. What were you demonstrating?
how
Don't do
confused
this.
he could get.
How confused I could get. Exactly.
Yeah, Tech Workbench. I like Rider, but and it's really good for like competition, right? Like keep Visual Studio on its toes. But just it came out about the same time that VS Code kind of really took off, and VS Code is just so lightweight and has every single plugin you could ever want. So I have a full license to every IntelliJ or every JetBrains product, but I don't use any of them right now.
Yep, that works
I
fine.
think Ash is gonna make it. Congratulations, Ash.
Yeah, and then you'd have steps, and then you would have, I don't know, just do a bash test or dash bash.
Yeah, console.writeline.
Console.writeline.
Yeah, that's how I debug. I don't do breakpoints. I just console log, console writeline,
I mean, the
Can you put YAML dot
There is no
echo?
console.
yeah, it's just bash, and you don't even do the task. You just say dash bash
Yeah.
or script. Script works as well.
Yeah. Run a command line script using bash on or you can run
Yeah.
bash.
And you can just do like ls or pwd or something like that. Just list out the directory.
All right, ready? Are we done?
Yeah, we should that should work now.
Build fail.
Today.
Junior.
Oh!
Yeah, see? Yeah.
Stuff's happening.
Yeah, I get that. I would probably use Rider instead of VS for Mac, because VS for Mac is really just Xamarin Studio.
Yeah.
Although they recently announced Visual Studio 2022 is going to have a preview in the summer, and I believe they are trying to make VS for Mac much more in line with the core 2022 project or product. So VS for Mac is going to get a major overhaul. Although I really do like the IntelliSense style for VS for Mac. The just the way that it displays the IntelliSense. For all my Mac development, though, I've just gone VS Code straight up. It's not as great for C#, but it is capable.
Also, if you click on the numbers up there at the top in the breadcrumb, you go back one step.
Should really
Oh,
do some of those.
But you also get these stages now down here. View.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. That's what I expected.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the only thing I have is sometime in the
Yeah.
summer for the release.
Yeah, the announcement was summer.
But obviously, the core product will come out in probably November 22, or at build. It'll either be May or November.
There's a few warnings.
Those are just errors waiting to happen. We can ignore them for right now.
Yeah, they're just stuff that I've addressed, and some of them that aren't legit. Some of them are left there intentionally for exercises for the user.
It'll be a live preview Tech Workbench, which is like you could call it an alpha, but they don't really do alpha beta for Microsoft. It's preview and then release candidate and then release. But since it's so early, it's like a full year early. I'm going to consider it as an alpha. Once they get further along in the previews, I'd probably consider it more of a beta. But I'm certainly going to install it and start using it.
Clayton likes to live dangerously.
Why not? I've got backup IDEs if Visual Studio took a crap. Plus, you can install them side by side now, so it's not really that big of a deal.
The other fun part about these warnings and such, once this completes, and it did, or the test pass at least, we can go to Sonar Cube and look at what these warnings are and see if we want to address them.
Yeah, let's do it.
So what's it doing right now? Because it says 100% test pass, but then 0 of 1 completed.
It's 0 of 1 jobs, so it's working on this one build and test job.
Oh, right. Okay, so it's doing all the things. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it already published the test results.
Yeah.
Oh, no, actually it didn't.
It hasn't, but it sometimes picks it up even before it publishes it. So now that's complete. We got 2 artifacts there. What are the 2 artifacts that gets pushed out?
Test results and
Code
yeah.
coverage report.
Code coverage report.
53.
Got it. And yay. Okay, so it's got the source code in there.
This is public.
Yeah, as long as you can remember the name of it.
Yep. See, like this one bugs me. Like, don't use the hard coded thing. I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, I guess. Yeah.
Const. Public static const /health.
Swagger. Don't use the default. Okay, sure. These were just empty ones that I threw in there for exercise purposes for using this as an example for teaching and whatnot. They're like, oh yeah, go make it do something with a post to put in a delete. I guess I could make it return or throw not implement exception or throw unsupported or something.
Should probably do something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Return method not found. So what do you think it wants you to do with the strings? Maybe like create app settings or something like that?
Yeah, or app settings or what's the
A resources file?
resources? Yeah, resources probably. But I mean,
Does it give more information? Does it give like suggestions, or is it just like don't do this?
yeah, I think it's just don't do it.
Oh, there's a whole bunch of junk.
Yeah, it may not exist in the other environments. I'm like, yeah, it will. It does. There's only one environment.
Yeah, but it may not. Yeah, so they definitely want it somewhere dynamic, so app settings or resources or...
Yep. C# squid.
Scroll down, do they actually suggest... Oh, we can't see what it says C.
Yeah, I can't.
It's sorry.
Is
It
it
says
cut off?
It says C cert in it with a link. Never hard code sensitive information with a link, and this link goes to
Page not found.
Page not found. It was hard coded.
Yeah, and it was sensitive, so...
and I can't get to that. So let me. There we go.
Okay.
So yeah, I like Sonar Cube.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Apparently I'm gonna have to peruse through SpeakerMeet again because you've added a whole bunch of junk since the last time I looked at it.
Yeah, I did this in a night or something. It was after we found out that Ash and I were going to have to present about multi-stage pipelines and moving DevOps closer to
You mean
dev.
after you volunteered?
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay. And then I put this all together. All right, we're done. All right. So what else shall we
So do we want to try to build? Do we want to try to spin up an environment?
Yeah.
Like a free app.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And then
let me
let's try
go.
to deploy to this thing.
I think I've got a playground resource group, maybe.
Is this building?
I do have.
I guess I could look at the source code. Is this building?
We'll do it to an app service, if that's your question.
Is it a Docker? No, is it a Docker
No,
container?
it's not. No.
Fail.
Okay. But we could do a Linux app service.
Yes, we will do a Linux app service. Faux show. Playground has nothing in it.
And then Dockerize it.
Stop it. One thing at a time.
So easy to Docker. You can right click your way
It
to
is.
success.
It already is though. There is a Docker. There's
Oh,
already
well
a Docker Compose. There's
Just use it.
that's
Yeah,
not
we're just not
focus
building.
of the talk,
Yeah.
man. Let's do web app, playground, speaker meet, test,
So there's a
Or-
couple tasks. I'll pull them up while you
Demo.
go through that.
publish code, select runtime, .NET 5, East US 2.
And I think this is the one we should probably shoot for.
Windows
Using
plan.
to
No.
do the deployment.
Why is it choosing Windows?
Default.
Based on your region and operating system selection. I didn't choose an operating system. Oh, there it is. Don't default to that, you jerk.
We can't see what you're doing.
I know. Sorry. We will create a new one and we'll call it Playground. We will not make it a premium.
Make it a premium.
But you got all those Azure credits.
Uh-huh. Not after we make it a premium. We don't. We'll make it the free 1 gig.
Disable that.
Okay.
That's our GitHub. It integrates with GitHub Actions, which is kind of nuts to me that it doesn't integrate with Azure DevOps, but whatever.
Well, they're
Tis
moving away
the
from Azure DevOps.
Future.
So why are we even doing this, huh?
Because GitHub Enterprise doesn't have everything that GitHub proper has with GitHub Actions.
Really? That feels stupid. I was going to say job security. First you move it to Azure, and then when they say they're moving everything to GitHub Actions, you go, well, now I got to do that project.
Well, you got to keep the consultants employed, right?
I really, I mean, I've used them a little bit more, and they're starting to grow on me, the GitHub Actions, but it might be just my familiarity with pipelines. I really like pipelines. So
I mean, it's mostly a slightly altered version of pipelines. I felt like the GitHub Action, at least the stuff I put together, was fairly simple to put together. Whereas sometimes the pipeline stuff is not as simple.
so I felt it's the opposite way.
Whatever.
Yeah, familiarity.
So I'm gonna delete this after the AZ mask isn't working for some reason. So I'm gonna delete this one after we're done, but it's fine.
Oh, there's a thing to blur stuff out?
Yeah, and it's not working for some reason.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Okay.
Okay, so there's a thing. Now what?
We've got to put in, connect up that with what is it? Security principal or no? Service connection and project settings. So here's a question for you. Do you want to do a job or do you want to do a deployment?
Whatever.
What's the diff?
Yeah.
So the deployments, you get a little bit more. Here, let me see if I can find it.
It sounds like we probably want to do a deployment. We know
That's
what
what
a
I would
job
think.
looks like. A job looks like
Yep. So a
A job
deployment
look like-
is a job. It's just a type. It's like a special type job.
yep.
It's a special job.
So no, you actually want. I think you want jobs. There. Hold on 1 second while I pull up my cheat sheet.
See, this
here.
is why I like the thing here.
Yeah. So it's jobs and then it's deployment. It's dash deployment.
It lies.
It is.
No, so you didn't do
There
the
it is.
dash.
It's right there. Yeah.
If you had dashed, then you would have seen it.
And then you need to give this one a name, and I don't think it can match the stage.
Looks good.
And then the next thing here, hold on.
Dash.
I'm going to give you.
You want to drive?
Yeah. Here, let me. Oh, yeah. We are in a website.
Yeah, you can't drive on the web.
Oh,
Broken.
there you go. Drive.
Okay. All right.
But now there's no IntelliSense.
No, it's fine. All right. So oh, yeah, you got that.
Throughout the depends on.
I guess it. I tried to.
So Tech Workbench says, one thing I ran into in the past is to select Linux VM with a specific core. Web UI always default to the latest core of Ubuntu, and I have to use Azure CLI to get the right version. We load defaults. Yeah.
Can I not?
Yeah, they always update and release the CLI first, and then update the UI. Which, sure, that's fine, because I think the UI even uses the underlying CLI, maybe, or the SDK.
I don't know that I can actually type. Oh, I can type. I can.
You're typing.
Oh, there we go. Okay. For a second, it wasn't working. Okay, so there's a couple things that we're going to need to do. We're going to need an environment, and we can just say that for now. And then a strategy, and the sort of like base strategy is run once.
Oh.
And then there's different steps that you can take. I'm just going to do a deploy, but there's like pre-deploy and other things, but right now now we're back to something that's pretty familiar, which is steps, and then we'll do a task. Let's do a bash, and then let's do ls, and let's do bash ls of. So one of the cool things about a deploy is, other than like a regular, is it will automatically download the artifacts that get produced on the previous stage in the build one, or the previous stages, I should say. So, and we can see that here. Where was this published? It was published under artifact name Speaker Meet API. So I think. Do this /. So this is obviously not going to publish anything just yet, but we should be able to say, I would say, let's try to save that. It may give us a fit on this environment, or we may have to write it or make one. But
Ready?
Yep, go ahead.
I too like to just commit straight to.
I mean, especially when it's
when it's not your project.
when you're pretty much the only one working on it.
Well, I mean, I guess you could set up the pipeline to trigger off of another branch that you could play around with, but
And it is. Maybe not. No, never mind.
you're building master. But I mean, you could branch and then
Yeah.
update the pipeline, and it would do a thing.
Let me look up this while that's building. Or is it building? It is building. So we didn't get bad syntax. That's good. But see, we even had IntelliSense there.
I think the future
In
of-
Visual Studio?
of
Yeah.
Azure DevOps is way more command line stuff that nobody wants to learn. It's going to get way more complicated. I mean, that just seems to be the trend lately.
Clayton is our cynical
Well, think
person.
about it. So when Azure came out, it was basically mostly like graphical stuff, right? Like, oh, click and add this piece to your build, and add that piece to your build, and search for a piece, and then add it and fill out some fields. And then they're like, oh, we've improved it. Okay, so now I have to use the command line for everything? Yes, and YAML. Okay. So it'll be something that's way more complicated with a much higher learning curve. That's what's going to happen next. Gone are the days of the wizard.
I think this is way better, but
Well, it's also it's way more configurable. That doesn't necessarily mean better. So better it depends on who's doing it, right? Like there are plenty of people who would like to right click, configure build,
yeah,
and then
right,
just
I
fill
guess-
out some fields.
no. So so here's the deal. So I think, and I wish I guess I agree that I think Microsoft is kind of going to push away from Azure DevOps. Maybe it's going to continue sticking around.
Oh, I was
in
totally
parallel,
joking about that part, but
in parallel with GitHub Actions, but I think building the YAML better, like first, is a better situation because I think you can always build a GUI on top of that. So there's no reason why you couldn't have a later or an extension or something that basically read in that YAML and then just turned it into a GUI, right? Built a visual component, like editor on top of that.
What about something like Cake or something to do your build? And
well, so it for me it's all like my issue with Kubernetes, right? Like Kubernetes is super powerful. It does a great job at what it does. But if you just need the simple case, right? I need these two services to run and they need to be on the same network. It is not easy to configure. Where they could make it easy to configure. Just like your simple case for a build is compile this code and deploy it to a place. Right? Like I don't care anything else about what's happening. I just want to build the code and deploy it to a place. Right? So that should be stupid simple. Like you should be able to default, just make it build and it should just go. The powerful nature of all the command line stuff and the scripts and the YAML is great when you need it. But the simple case should be like 2 button clicks and you're done. And it then give you the starting YAML, and then if you need to, you can extend.
But isn't that exactly what you get in the example documents?
Is that a button click? The example documents?
Okay, so it's Control C, Control V, but that's 4 button clicks.
There's a difference between So obviously, once you've been doing, if you've been doing Azure DevOps, it's no big deal. You can sit down, you can type up a pipeline, no problem, right? But if you're trying to learn it, I haven't looked at the docs, so the docs might be very well organized and perfectly straightforward and easy to understand and use. But if I'm in Azure, I want a button that says, I want to deploy a website. The repository for the website is here, and I don't care about anything. I just want it to deploy.
Yeah.
I should be able to do that, and I should be able to do it really quick, and you can't. And I totally get that. I totally get that Azure is for.
I thought
the
they had that
enterprise.
pretty much like if you spin up a new pipeline, I think if you right click on new pipeline, that it basically gives you the option to basically walk through that exactly what you're talking. And what it spins out is the whole YAML.
Yeah, originally you could do something very close to that, and then they're like, "Hey, we've improved Azure," and they moved the functionality somewhere else, and then you had to find the new place.
I'm
So
pretty sure it's in new pipeline. You
yeah,
can
yeah,
click on
new pipeline
yeah.
would be like the third or fourth time that they've moved that functionality.
Gotcha. All right, so if you click on Bash, and test results. Okay.
So many
yep.
bash.
So, yeah. So the first one is just like giving us.
It didn't output anything.
It didn't output anything. Okay. What's
Was it supposed to? Oh,
Yeah, I should.
LS.
Should have just been in whatever root directory we were in. Okay, so this one gave us.
Those are the folders. Those are all the folders.
Those are all the folders. Yep. Test. Those are the two of the. And then the third one is
the
inside of
workspace.
that workspace,
Yeah, it should be the.
which is that zip file. So this zip file is what we need because that's what we're going to use to deploy. Right. So we need the next step is to get the right task. And I kind of liked what you were doing there. I've not seen where you jumped on the web, so I'll let you drive here. Let's because I really haven't done.
I want you to drive.
No. You need to drive.
I mean, we can do that. So I put
But
in
my car's messed up.
Too bad we don't know any places that sell cars.
There might be a squirrel inside my engine compartment again, just chewing apart the lines.
Dang. So there are a couple tasks, and I put them at some point in the chat but there's the Azure web app task, and then there's the Azure App Service Deploy task.
I've opened the link.
The Azure app web app task, I think, is easier and simpler. It basically is like, give us the subscription, give us the app name, and give us the package. So
Package is in zip file.
as in the zip file. Yep.
Cool. Yeah, let's do that.
So
You drive. You're right there.
Okay.
I see your
Okay.
cursor.
Yep. So oh, come on. Oh, yeah, that doesn't help if I'm
No, that's
I can't
my
edit the Zoom window.
That was my cursor. Oh. See, you can't copy and paste straight from Stack Overflow. What are you doing?
So how does
I'm
any
copying-
work get done then?
I'm copying and pasting this from the example. All right, so we need to get this. And what is the sample? What was the app name, web app name that you
Yeah,
created?
that's what I'm going for. So it is. Was this? That doesn't look right at all. Hold on. Speaker Meet Demo is the app service in a new app service plan. Yeah, Speaker Meet Demo. Yeah, Azure Mask fail. So delete this after the stream.
Speaker Meet demo.
Yep.
Okay. So, and then we need to go to the Azure DevOps.
Plug in the
And-
secret.
Yeah, and we need to create a, what is that? Azure Resource Service connection.
Oh, okay.
Yep, which you should just be able to do by logging in with your Azure credentials.
I think I might already. Wait, let me double.
If you don't have it,
I'm not going to do that on screen. Just
yeah,
for
do that off
funsies.
screen.
Why not?
Service connections. No, I've got a
Oh,
connection to
You
GitHub.
you should be able to do it without exposing anything, but
New service connection. Azure Classic.
no, Azure. There's like Azure Resource.
Resource Manager.
Azure Resource. That's the one.
Okay. That's ARM. Service Principal. Automatic recommended.
Don't worry, Wesley. They'll be in there.
I don't know what he said, but it's a lie.
So he's had to publish all the secrets to the repo.
Oh, and we can see this anyway. So.
Yep. It's all right. That's not even the right thing. That account's dead. Not a thing. I don't even know the password to that one, so feel free to spam it all you want. All right, service. Okay, to premium. Yep. Playground. Yep. Playground. Connection for speaker meet demo. Grant access permission to all pipelines. Yes, do it. Yep.
We should do this for Blazer game.
Yeah.
What, all the stuff I'm doing off screen?
No, just setting up
great.
setting up a pipeline so that people
Yeah.
can go to like blazergame.azurewebsites.net.
Okay, it's there. What do you need?
All right. So can you paste the name into and replace that? If I click the zoom, it doesn't work. Replace this with the name, or
name
create a variable. I
The
don't
name
really care.
of
But
what?
You know,
the name of that service connection, which was playground, maybe. I can
think it's
actually
just
look it up.
Proper case playground.
Service connection. Yep.
So Ash, how many times do you think you're gonna have to tell yourself that you can't click on Zoom?
I can't click on zoom. All right. I think that might work. I'm less sure because
That's a good commit message. Yeah.
I haven't done a lot of deploying to web app services.
And now we wait 5 minutes while the first stage builds.
Yeah. Now, if this was Kubernetes,
20 minutes.
well, but Ash would be more sure about the deployment.
Right.
I would be because I know that a little bit more.
All right. Now everybody can watch. Ta-da. Look, you can watch all the warnings fly by. So how's everyone doing? Nice weather. Evening.
All right. I'll
Something?
actually be right back.
What? What? What?
Well, we get to we'll know what he's doing in a couple minutes.
No, he muted. So there's.
Oh, did
so
he mute?
For those
Oh.
watching it at home, Ash is in the basement. Right above his head is the upstairs toilet. And so when he forgets to mute or doesn't catch it in time, we get to hear someone flush. So that's always fun.
So, are you on Core 2?
What?
It says .NET Core version
Oh.
2.18.
Sonar Cube, I think, needed Core 2. This version of Sonar Cube was old, so we had to bring in an older version for it to be nice. This is one major version behind, based on one of the ready-made templates, I think, and they said that the new version wouldn't work with the way that it was done. It was one of the Azure quick starts. And so I just haven't gone through how to get the latest version up and going. So it's just easier to install Core 2 for Sonar Cube.
But
the rest of
SpeakerMeet
it is
.NET 5?
Speaker is .NET 5.
Okay.
And the pipeline is .NET 5 and everything. Yeah. Fingers crossed we get all green. It rarely works the first time. You just get used to it.
We'll get green right up until the end, at least.
Yep. Yeah. The first step, the first stage, at least, will be green.
Can't hear you.
I'm surprised we only have one failed build so far, or failed run.
See, you had to say it.
Here's hoping.
Knock on concrete.
And luckily, we still have all these in here. So.
Those are just my debugging.
Right. Yeah. Appreciate that.
Hey, no problem.
I like that you can echo out stuff. Like, made it. Got here, at least.
JavaScript debugging from the 90s is alive and well.
It's not.
I don't
It's
know.
not
It-
just from the
it's- it-
'90s.
It's super frustrating.
Earlier today.
Well, so sometimes I'll just go straight there, but I was like, I couldn't figure out where, like, what the directory was that it dropped those artifacts into, and so I guessed on my own build a few more times, and
Yeah, no, yeah. Tech Workbench. Once you decide not to go free anymore, you lose that free one.
yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
Stay free.
Or go public. So, like, you should, since your code is already open source, you should just open source the pipeline,
Tim, son of Steve.
and then you
Don't
get
tell me what to do.
10 free.
Some call me Tim.
All right, let's see. Let's see what let's see what kind of damage we're doing here.
The other fun part is that apparently there's a bug that if you created a pipeline after April 14th or April 15th, then you can't actually get the code coverage to show up in the build anymore. So in the UI pipeline, the coverage report doesn't show up
I hope they're gonna fix
because
that.
I created that one like last week or something. Like it reports on the main page, but once
Yeah.
you go to the code coverage tab, it's blank.
Wow.
If you put in a bug,
So
Somebody else did.
this is looking pretty
added my
good because I
stuff
would have
to it.
expected this to fail, but we actually got
Holy
success.
cow!
Now here's the question.
No way that worked. No way that
yeah,
worked.
yeah, 404.
I,
503.
earlier, I was able to get the
Back
I was
end's
able to
unhealthy.
get the code to deploy, and it said yes, we've deployed, but it didn't actually work.
Yeah, I just copied the zip file to the. We can see, so if you don't want us to.
I know. This one's getting deleted. It's fine.
Wow.
Ooh, it's got the new one.
Oh, I hadn't seen that one.
Neither have I. So I
How come
don't even
the
know
how
where
come,
to go now?
How come the light one has more stuff than the other one?
Well,
Says it was successful.
that's helpful. Thank you.
It worked.
One of the things that I like. Okay, here we go.
I mean,
Dub
there,
dubs.
there's stuff there. Do I need to set the? I might need to set the. So in here, I'm going to go off screen for a second. In the
Yeah.
working one, I had to specify the DLL for the startup. I wonder if I should do
Okay.
that as well.
Yeah, I don't. So this is where I feel like we're getting a little bit out of DevOps or Azure DevOps pipelines and into more app services,
Yeah,
which
I
is something
just-
I'm not familiar with.
Oh, now you work AZ Mask. Now I can't see anything. That's so helpful.
Ta-da!
What was like?
It's
Oh, it
just-
works for you. It just doesn't work for the screen recorder.
Yeah,
it's,
so
it's
when you move it-
disabled for Zoom.
Oh, you're screen sharing. You obviously you want everybody to see that, right? Jerks. Let's go back to here. Let's go to. No, come on. I know this makes for riveting entertainment. I'm really sorry.
I
Not
mean, at
enough
least it's
to
not
do-
a blank screen.
Not enough
Yeah.
to do anything about it. I'm just, So,
Yeah. At my previous client, we also ran into that issue with the agents. But we were using multi-stage builds, and what we did is we just kept it on the one agent, and then I think like you can get away with one agent for a really long time. But when we really got like all of our applications up and running and deploying, and we were deploying out to Kubernetes, and we had each one of those stages, and we had we were using multiple jobs to build each application. So we had sort of a microservice architecture. So each job was its own service, but we still sort of deployed them all together. It was useful to have more than one agent to be able to build in parallel. So we quickly, I would say, jumped over the two to three. I think when I left, we maybe had like 4 agents, but that kept us. Basically, anytime we got to a point where we were starting to wait, where people are kicking off builds and they were having to wait for their build, for someone else's build to finish, that's when we sort of upped it again. But
should have kept it public. You would have had plenty of agents.
Well, I would have loved that, but I mean, at the same point, the agents are only like what, $40 a month or something like that, and for a pretty decent sized corporation, that's pretty chump change. So
yeah, but you got to pinch those pennies. How many companies you've been at that like count the number of ballpoint pens they have in the
plenty. I understand that. That was not this client. So
sorry, we've downgraded the coffee. You guys are using entirely too much notepad paper.
I mean, usually when that happens, I sort of go, "You can't afford me, so I'll see you later."
No, we downgraded the coffee so we could afford you.
No. Unfortunately, my salary isn't the only thing you have to pay for when I come to work for you.
Yeah,
I also need 5 agents, evidently.
So the total cost of ownership for an Ash is unattainable for many companies.
That's right.
That extra $200 a month for agents. Just the straw that breaks the camel's back.
I mean, it's there. But to your point, Ash, I mean, this is outside of the realm of really what we like.
Well, yeah,
we deployed it. It's somebody else's problem now.
If it doesn't actually run, I mean, my favorite tech workbench is that those same companies that are penny pinching the office supplies are the same ones that go and hold like department wide or company wide meetings for a couple hours, where everybody is required to sit in a room and listen to stuff that nobody cares about. It's like, this meeting just cost you $100,000 and you're worried about the coffee?
Yep.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, this might be interesting. So let's see what this says.
Only way to make that worse is to put it in Excel.
I see. So you're just running it in a Docker anyways.
Well,
they're running it in a Docker.
Yeah, app service does, yeah.
See container logs for debugging, but
logging is not enabled for this container. So
all right. So let's go back there then. Let's enable logging, shall we? Was this video helpful? No. All right. Follow along.
that's a heck
Shall
of
we?
a meeting. $1 million. Good times.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm not as anti those kind of big meetings, like big vision and whatnot, but they often are done, I feel like, inefficiently and effectively, usually sharing information that's not particularly relevant, or like not the information I would really want to be hearing about, and the overall pomp and circumstance, and usually like threatening levels of like, this is a mandatory thing, attendance sort of weirdness is often kind of just a little bit weird to those things.
I like hearing what the company is up to. I don't necessarily care for the 45 minutes of team building exercise that comes before hearing what the company is up to.
Clayton's not what you would call a people person.
Well, the team building exercise, it's like okay, we're going to go around the room of 200 people and we're going to ask each of them what their favorite color is and what they like to do on the weekends. Like look, I've already discussed these things with my actual team. I don't need to discuss it with the entire department or the entire company.
Yeah.
And then and then you've got the status meetings with 40 people in them, where you go around and everybody just says what they did yesterday. Those are also kind of pointless,
Especially when they're daily.
yeah.
Right. Or even twice a day. I've had those.
If it was like 5 people, 10 people, not the end of the world. But a lot of times it's not. It's like 20, 30 people.
Yeah, what especially gets me about those meetings is, so usually it's an agile team, but then you have like the extra players, and they also show up to the status meeting, but then they give me their status alert, and I'm like, why? You're not actually on my team. Like, yeah, yes, you do interface with our team, but you don't actually do anything that's related to my team. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, Tim.
So why do I care about your status?
Tim, that example is exactly what I'm talking about. What do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a millionaire and a janitor. I think that would be fun.
I don't know, janitor, that might be kind of fun. So-
Yeah. I mean, if
So
I
you
had
have to deal with the restrooms,
if I had
but-
$1 million, I would clean up poop all day.
Have I got a job for you?
What would you do if you had $1 million?
Running the command .NET Speaker Meet API DLL.
I don't know, like
not-
some of the
Find build manifest.
like the building upkeep folks just, I mean, they seem to be having a pretty
Wesley got it.
chill time.
I don't understand why it's failing. Everything's there.
Is
Can
it in a
you-
wrong directory or something? Like, is the file folder structure
It
incorrect?
doesn't.
Can
look
you
like
attach
it.
to the container from kudzu, whatever it is?
Yeah.
Because if you could attach the container, you could check and see the running processes and stuff from within inside the container.
Oh, wait. No, there it goes.
Oh, it just needed to give it some time.
You know what? I think I've run into that before. That. Nope. See,
Oh.
trying again.
Couldn't find manifest. Failed site start. Didn't respond to HTTP pings on 8080. There isn't like some kind of configuration for the port that you need to deal with, is there?
Shouldn't be.
No such directory. App svc temp. Okay, so it's trying to run it, but it's not even saying that the process is failing. It's saying that it's basically killing it because it can't ping it. Right?
Sort of, yeah. That's what it seems.
Yeah, I would probably try to attach and then do like a netstat and see what ports are active and stuff like that.
Connection refused. It said no. That's what that logging was me trying to connect to it.
Oh, okay. Well, did it already close out the Docker because it failed the site, or so you gotta be quicker on the draw.
Apparently.
Deploy to app service.
I don't
See,
think
yeah,
John's
that's me
paying
trying to
attention,
connect to
Wesley.
it.
You're fine.
No, I can't see the chat right at the moment. So feel free. Wait. Oh, it sounds like I need to look.
Well, I said, what would you do if you had $1 million? And he responded with the correct answer. Which, Ash, so you know, is a movie quote.
Movies are like talkies.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it's the
I think we have.
connection strings and stuff that we didn't swap out. It's probably legit that the app can't start because we didn't wire up all the connection
We
strings. and
didn't wire up
stuff.
any of that stuff. So maybe we should try to figure that out. Or are you ready to move on?
I'm ready to move on. I can wire that up. I mean, we already have it running.
So you're talking about like environment
Here.
variables for the app settings and stuff
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah. So if we look, okay, stop it. We can prove that we're already running. Based on what's being pushed out from GitHub Actions, so we're at least good there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, assuming the deployed correctly.
I mean, it did. Because if you
There may be some additional things we might need to like.
here are all the files.
Yep.
Here is the DLL.
Yeah, I mean,
And this-
it all looks fine.
Yeah.
I'm okay to move on. I just, I don't accept anything.
We know. Trust me. Yeah, it's just that the app itself is failing because of missing variables and stuff.
It would just be nice to see those errors.
Wouldn't it? And I bet we can somewhere. I'm just not looking in the right place.
Yeah. Yeah, it's because I've been so engrossed in the Kubernetes space, we haven't really had any need to delve into the app service side of things. And I think a lot of people really do like the app service, and I think there's a lot of power here. But it's just not something I have a ton of familiarity with now.
Well, and it's the goal to move this over to Kubernetes in Azure.
Eventually,
I think the goal of our current
the talk is
endeavor
not.
is for to
Okay.
go to app service. Yes,
A Linux app server.
a Linux app service, which we are. So
Yep.
but yeah, as far as the so one other interesting thing that you might go to that we might do is let's go to so we have this environment called Playground. If you go to Azure DevOps and share your screen in the pipelines, there's this over on the left hand side under pipelines, there's environments, and we should now have one called Playground here. And this will sort of somewhat keep track of the deployments that have gone to it. We can also, if you click on the ellipses up on the right hand corner, we can add approvals and checks. And so this is how you can add, so now you could change, yourself as an approver. If we create that, if we rerun the app or rerun the pipeline, now when it gets to that spot, it won't automatically deploy. It'll require you to approve. It'll get it ready, and it will. So this is how we sort of added gates. We created. We would create like basically groups inside of Azure DevOps that we put people to. So here's one little thing if you added like multiple people to that list, like if you added me and you, then both you and I would have to approve it in order for it to go. But if you added us in a group and then added the group to the approve, then what you or I would be able to approve it. But there's some other things. So if you want to go into that environments tab, you can even look while this is spinning. There's other, like you can have gated check other gates available than just the and other security things. So yeah, approvals and checks. Plus. So you have like different business hours, whether you want to invoke Azure functions, there's just a bunch of different options that you can, and you can set up. This is one of the things you can sort of do to make stages kind of interesting. Or yeah,
Nice.
like if you want to skip stages or something like that, you can use these kinds of. But there's also conditions built into Azure pipelines that you can program on the YAML side of things. That, like, say you have like a branch that comes from a PR that's coming from like a branch that's maybe like hotfix. So we need this to go directly. Well, you could skip your QA stage or something like that. If you said, well, the branch is coming directly from hotfix, so therefore skip QA stage and go directly to prod or something like that.
Ship it.
Yep, exactly.
So Tech Workbench says, unless you are admin, you can override the approval, but I think that's probably supposed to be a can't.
No, I think the way I read it is unless you are the admin, and then you can override the approval.
Yes.
Yeah, if you are an admin, you can do you can.
I think you
override
can
all
do
the
anything you want. Yes.
anything.
Yeah, pretty much. But that is, so environments also give you, if you're running Kubernetes, you can like go into the your AKS cluster and dig in to see like what's actually deployed and the deployments and the pods, and you actually get logs from your AKS cluster right there in the actual, which is pretty sweet. And then there's a VMs where you can also do something similar with Windows, or if the environment you're deploying to is a VM, but the apps service don't have anything special. So there's just a sandbox called a playground environment out there.
Not for long. Because John's going to delete it.
But none when using these multi-stage pipelines, then the releases become the releases tab becomes completely useless. So now it's in this waiting. So it's ready to go and it's waiting, but it won't deploy. And I think it'll wait for, I guess, 30 days.
Do it. But I was gonna say, I said do it.
Waiting on agent.
Yeah, that was another fun thing is they turned off the free build agent because people were using it for Bitcoin mining.
Oh,
Really?
So you have to request the free agent now because this is a new project.
yeah. And then I was working on some stuff about a week ago, and they had some outages that it kept kicking. I would try to do a run, and it'll be like, we don't really want to run this until midnight of tonight or whatever. So it's like they must be under some load. So
They got DDoS'd, I think.
yeah, okay.
They just don't trust you.
Yeah, that's what I figured. But it's working now. Fine for me.
So package deployment using zip deploy initiated. Deploy logs can be found here. Successfully deployed the web package to the app service. Successfully updated the deployment history. And the app service application is there. Let's try that again.
Are we building? We're building this for Linux, right?
Yep.
The zip.
Yep. Oh,
Works great.
hush you.
So I was looking at chat. I missed it. Did we switch over from Playground over to the real thing, or
No, we're
No.
we're still Playground? Okay. What's that?
deployment log.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was successful.
Yeah, I got the stuff out there, but something is not wired up correctly.
Yep.
So we'll have to figure that out. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. There's definitely a lot more that we could talk about. But
Well, it's 9:22, so we really should break something, so that we can have that cliffhanger.
Right.
Unless you want the non-functional website to be the cliffhanger.
It could be. I don't know. Chat, what do you want to see? Where should we go from here? What should we do? Should we go back to the code? Should we go into more pipeline stuff? Should we switch over to Blazor Game Engine?
0 things will get done in half an hour.
No, I'm sure
What if you just wanted to switch over from your WebGL? So
Yeah.
switch over to WebGL. I heard that's like a 5-minute operation.
I'm
Actually,
positive we can break it in 30 minutes.
yeah, WebGL's gonna die. WebGPU will be the new thing,
Oh, then yeah, let's
Oh.
switch.
but
Let's
that's only
do that.
That only works in nightly builds of Chromium.
Wes
Wesley
hasn't
says,
gotten
yeah, it don't work. It's broke. Don't work.
Are you running it in Docker? Because you should be able to run the Docker container, or the Docker project, the Dockers. I'll say Docker a few more times.
Give us a live share, and John will fix your problems live.
Having trouble with the DB in Docker? It really shouldn't.
Are you running the compose or like the Docker file?
Yeah, the Docker Compose. Docker Compose build up, or up build.
Well, that was a sad drop. When I go to run the API, it fails at db.database.ensure created.
Works on my machine.
Well, so John, have you recently pruned and deleted everything?
Yeah.
Let's see it.
Yeah. Make it all go away and then start it up again. Wesley hates you.
I mean, okay. Yeah, we'll even close down, and we'll do this, and we'll kill everything. Just
Format of the initialization
My
string
live share has
will not
ended.
conform to specification starting at index 0. Oh yeah, that's a specification stuff. I have no idea. Tech Workbench says, how can you let your package contain exe files? This was a thing for a project using Windows VMs to run locally.
What?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Can you give us a little bit more context, Tech Workbench? I've never had a project that ran against a VM locally. I mean, I've like had a, you know, my entire environment inside a VM, but I've never like, I've never used a VM like it was Docker. I know you can add arbitrary like embedded resources though. So you could probably embed an exe file. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, try adding it to like a solution folder or project folder, and then marking it as embedded in the properties window.
That's a good way.
You could also just say copy. If you didn't want to do embedded, you could say copy to. It's late and my brain's not working. There's a copy to somewhere option where you can just
Copy of newer or copy always.
Yeah. So you can just copy random files into the build folder. Yeah. Used copy. Yeah. Yeah, copy is probably the way that I would go, unless your application was going to access it and like run it as an embedded resource, which is possible, but probably a bit more complicated than you would need to do. How do you have 23,000 channel points?
He just sits there and watches us.
I think he's threatening to make you
flounder.
look at the code.
Yeah, so I'm.
Oh, we're gonna do a code review. Let's do a code review.
What about those pull requests that he has lurked or something?
No, that was freaking Ward who
freaking Ward
must have fallen asleep.
Yeah. Passed out at the desk with a bottle of bourbon.
I mean, I'm pretty loyal. I've got 36,000 channel.
I have 67,000.
I just didn't think that. I go whatever. I have infinite.
That gets me every time I click on the window and it stops. I'm like,
Yeah. Oh.
I'm totally gonna reject that PR, Wes. We are not adding AutoMapper to speaker meet.
Epic troll.
But why?
Because people abuse AutoMapper so much.
Doesn't mean you have to.
It's really a pointless library, as we have already discussed.
I think it has a point.
Not you too, Tech Workbench. We're getting ganged up on.
I can replace AutoMapper in what, 20 lines of code?
We even had Jimmy on the podcast and told him that he should apologize for AutoMapper. he agreed.
Yeah, but the point is, I could replace it with 20 lines of code, but I don't have to because I can just do AutoMapper.
That's true. You know, I really should have made the simple map or whatever we were going to call it. I need to get that published.
Yeah, Wes, did the integration tests fail? Because they would have had to have failed.
To me, as far as Dapper and EF, until you, or I'm good with either. I think they have different use cases.
There is an alternative to Automapper, if you like Automapper, that is way faster.
Is it Automapper?
No.
I don't like it. I want Automapper.
Oh, I wish I
It
could.
looks like they all passed me, man.
Let me find the alternative here.
No, I'm mostly just trying to take a contrarian stance here.
No,
No
it's
way.
all good. I'm
You?
just, for anybody who actually likes. Oh, here it is. Here it is.
Works on my machine. What version of Docker?
For anybody who actually likes Automapper, here is a video about an alternative that is both faster and more capable. Don't go watch it right now. You can watch it after we're done.
I'll see you guys. Here, let me watch that.
Mapster. Oh, so he stole it and he's been streaming it? Is that...
Yeah, no.
Can you steal something that's been released open source?
The cool thing about Mapster though is that you can statically generate your maps. So like you could build the maps in advance and have the access to the actual code if you want to, or you can do it dynamically. And the Fluent API for Mapster is way better than Automapper.
And Wes, forgive me if I don't remember. Do you have much Docker experience? Do we? So, I usually choose the nuclear option and prune the whole thing. Prune all force.
Does that gets rid of images and containers?
Mm-hmm. All user defined
I
stuff.
thought you still had to do 2 commands.
There's still
volumes.
There's still
Volumes.
volumes.
Yeah. Get rid of volumes. You got to get rid of volumes. That's where all your data is.
Oh yeah, all kinds. This is the first time he's ever installed. Okay.
Are you on the
volumes?
WSL?
Oh. Are these Windows machines, Windows Docker's images?
These are not. No, these are
No,
Linux.
but like his.
Is Wes, are you running Linux or you were running Windows?
Oh, hopefully not Windows containers.
It's a button switch, but you know.
Is it here?
Yeah, and if you go in, I don't know if it's in there. It's in.
It's
if
in
you
the
like right
system
click on
tray.
the little system tray thing, there's a switch. If it says switch to Windows containers, you're running the right thing.
And then just as long as you're in the Speaker Meet API folder where the solution is, where the Docker Compose file is, and then run Docker Compose up build. And then I'll download all the stuffs, run all the tests, run all the integration tests.
When were you able to run Docker Compose inside of command window?
Always?
Always.
Really?
Yeah. I got a video on the meetup site that you can watch from like 4 years ago.
I thought it was. I thought when Docker came, it was like in PowerShell. You could only do it inside of PowerShell or Bash.
I don't use PowerShell at all.
I only use command because you do start or Windows R CMD and it opens. It is running Linux.
You should
and you
install.
run
You should install Windows Terminal.
Docker
I'm not
Compose
crazy about it. Windows
or
Terminal.
Docker Compose up -- build.
So I always use whatever, but it's in Visual Studio Code. So
Yeah, well, I configure my Visual Studio Code to use Git Bash. I don't like the so with WSL I don't like the slash mount /c.
yeah,
I prefer just the /c that's in Git Bash. It's just I don't know,
yeah.
simpler.
Yeah, I'm good with either of that. I mean, I don't know. I use PowerShell, use CMD, but for some reason I was thinking that you couldn't run Docker in.
No, since
In-
Compose
in
was a
command.
thing. Since Compose was a thing, it's command line.
Got it.
Oh, good, Linux containers. Oh, failed.
Failed.
3, past 0.
What?
Works on his machine.
Did work on my machine.
Yeah, till we had you delete everything.
Yeah. Well, I had already deleted it once. What happened? Wes, what did you do?
Perfect. Perfect timing. Now you have 20 minutes.
What
fix
what
it.
is the name? What is the name of the images that you're using for your Docker?
Yeah, I think maybe some stuff didn't get. Hold on. I don't know.
Well, no, just go look at your Docker file.
Docker file.
Oh, you closed everything, huh?
Mm-hmm.
The reason I ask is because if you've got like :latest or something, they will magically
Oh,
switch
yep.
that stuff out from underneath you,
Yep.
and then your stuff will not work, and you won't even know it because you still have the image from before.
That's why I version pin.
Yes, I even do the hash.
Oh wow.
Well, because so they can release a new version
A new
3.456,
version of that.
but they can't
Yeah.
release a new hash.
Interesting.
That part's
I
always
haven't
annoyed me.
done that.
I get latest being fluid, but I think all of the other tags should be
No.
more rigid. Yeah, so like 5.0 Buster Slim may have gotten an update that may have broken something.
Jerks.
I don't know for sure, but I know that has happened to me in the past.
Don't use Buster Slim either.
Is Alpine available?
Alpine is available.
I like Alpine.
Alright.
It's nice and
Let's
tiny.
switch everything over.
Yeah,
Give me
I
some,
would, but you don't accept pull requests. So.
I appreciate the help, Wesley. You have done a great job.
I hate all of you.
John, you like to see me flounder. Sometimes I like to have the shoe on the other foot.
What is the? Is it just
I can look it up.
Alpine?
I think
It probably is, but I don't know for sure. It wouldn't be Alpine Slim. It would just be Alpine. Why not? I mean, so that was probably a generated Docker file originally, but I just don't know why they didn't use like base as build. Ultimately, I mean, the image gets pulled down one time, but
though they're two different images there.
Yeah, that one was SDK, one was runtime.
One's SDK.
oh,
one.
okay. There be the difference.
That's what I'm looking for.
Did we Ash, you validated it as just Alpine?
No,
No, I thought you were looking.
I am looking. There may be there's so many different tags, but there may be one that's just Alpine. But I am seeing.
Well, I mean like 5.0 dash Alpine or something equivalent.
The problem is there's so many freaking tags. So, I mean, there's like 505, 50.5 Alpine 3. But oh, there's a 5 dash. Here it is. 5-0 dash Alpine. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, it's right here.
5.0.
Yes, I misspoke. This I said that tag works.
Cool.
Here's the link to where the tags are. Yeah, I mean, I you could get as this is usually about how
A hot
specific
dog
I
shaped
go.
cupcake?
What?
I'm very confused but intrigued.
What? What?
Tim, son of Steve, was gonna point out the SDK versus runtime thing, but he said he was busy eating a hot dog shaped cupcake. I'm very interested now.
I'm scared.
Well, that's what's got me interested.
How do you make a hot dog 3 cupcake? Oh.
Oh, so it actually looks like a hot dog? You got like a ballpark cupcake?
You could take
I kind of want to make take the
Twizzlers.
I kind of want to take the cake batter and make a bun out of it, and then
yeah.
split the bun,
Yeah.
and then put like ganache
Oh,
as the hot
yeah,
dog,
yeah.
and then
There you go.
then frosting as like, the ketchup, mustard, and whatnots. Yeah.
API failed to build.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be on a diet. I'm supposed to be on a juice diet, but I think when we get done with this, I'm gonna go eat cake.
We just had some.
Yeah, I've got a whole container of sweet greens juice. It's got kale and apple and grapes and stuff in it. It looks awful,
Yeah.
but it's the next juice that I've got to drink. I avoided it all day.
Does it taste good?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know yet.
I don't
Okay.
know. Kale always makes anything bitter, so I'm afraid
Yes,
it's going to be
yes, it
bitter
does.
and gritty. But
So
it may not be.
So Alpine doesn't have bash.
Oh.
No, you gotta add that. It was just like it was added in. Or I guess it wasn't added. You gotta install bash.
You just use SH. Can you use SH instead?
That he could.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Just do bin/sh.
Okay. No.
No.
Yeah, no, I don't think it comes with anything.
It does. It does.
Corn shell? I don't know. Seashell?
I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it does not. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Corn shell's my favorite because of the name. Alpine default shell is its default shell is called Ash instead of
that's
Bash.
right. Yes.
You
Why
should
didn't you know
this.
that?
I forgot.
How do you forget something like that?
Failed to compute.
Does not compute.
Very disappointing.
Cache key slash was probably not slash source, right?
Sources at the root.
Oh,
is it?
yeah. No. Docker build.
Oh, and here's how to install Bash if we needed to. It's not too bad. It's APK update, APK upgrade, APK add bash. That's pretty simple.
I knew there was a reason why I liked Alpine so much.
Mm-hmm.
It's only like 5 megs though.
What, Bash?
No, Alpine.
Oh, Alpine, yeah. Alpine's really small.
That 385, that's like .NET. We just have to keep this broken long enough for John's wife to wonder if he's still alive.
Right.
We're not even to cutoff time, so we're good.
I'm sure we can find some more wrenches if this succeeds.
Yeah, well, I mean, like 10:05 is kind of like the magical it works hour, so just got to go till then.
The thing is, I don't even think it's that. I think it's probably the DB.
It could be anything.
I think it's probably this image, actually.
Oh, yeah, and you're not putting anything, so that is scrapping latest.
Yeah.
Right there.
Broke all the things. Data lust.
Last updated.
I mean, it could have been just about any time, really.
Can I do this? Is that right?
If that's the tag, yeah.
Sure.
API failed to build. Oh, yeah, because bin bash. Why is it saying bin bash?
Well.
Oh,
you've
that
got-
was.
you've got a
See,
bunch
I
of
only
Docker
changed the
files.
one. I only changed the one. Ash, bin ash, bin ash, and now that. Let's nuke it again because that's just the way I roll. Actually, let's not. That takes a long
I mean,
time.
it'll know where it failed. This system is prune AF.
I thought of the same thing when he ran it earlier.
That's the other reason I like to run it.
So where do you get the hash claim? Because
You actually so you pull down the image, and
Okay.
then you look at the
Look at it.
image for the hash.
you'll look at the image. Okay. Yep. Got it.
It's the most annoying thing ever, but it's the only way to like get the exact version every
So
time.
how do you put that? Do you
It's
use that instead of the tag, or
no, you use the tag, and then it's like, I think it's an @ symbol, and then you paste in the hash. It's either an
Okay.
@ or like a pound or something. It's been a while since I've done it. I've got a repo somewhere that shows it, but I mean, I haven't done that in a while, really. But if you want to know that your stuff's not going to just magically break one day, that's the way to do it.
got it?
Oh, that's a 2019 image. I wonder if I should go back to 2017. Wonder if that's.
How
Well-
old is your database?
I don't know. I don't. I mean, remember, this is another project that's like 4 or 5 years old.
I mean, it looks like 2019 was updated April 6th.
Yeah.
2017 hasn't been updated since February.
In general, higher number is gooder.
You have
So
a
it wasn't
commanding
done.
grasp on the English language.
It was Tim, son of Steve.
Ah.
I was just agreeing. Generally, I know how to use the English language. It's more gooder.
Obviously. Oh. Looky there.
Oh,
All right, Wes, we're going to have some updated to the Alpines and stuff for you. Do.
I'm so happy that my esoteric knowledge of
Oh, no.
Never mind. I take it back. I'm not happy.
I'm ecstatic.
Why mad, bro?
Well, clearly, because stuff don't work. Starting up temp DB.
Globalization invariant. Yeah, it's a 2019 thing.
All right, roll it back. See what happens.
You want that tag? I think it should be
I'm
the
gonna
same
go
without
to this
2017.
one.
Yeah,
I'm
just
going to go to CU17 Ubuntu.
yeah, whatever the previous tag is should be fine.
Where was I? Here? Yep.
Yep.
And if you had the hash, you could use the hash, and you would get whatever version you had that was working. But
I mean that one's
What just
from-
happened?
I think you pruned.
That's not what I meant to do.
Yeah, well,
I mean that one's from November of 2019, but
the 17 is
the one he's using right now, yeah,
November's probably fine.
of 2019, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, but latest was the
was like April.
tag was created in 2018, but it was last updated was 416
Yeah, see
or
that
4.6.
That's
that
at latest
stuff.
though. But if you go to full
Just
tag
2017 latest instead. Well, let's finish this one if that works.
list.
and
No,
we'll try
the one you're
2017
using
latest.
right now. You're using 2017-cu-ubuntu.
Yeah, if you wanted to use 2019, they've updated it, so you would have to
and-
find the hash that corresponded with the correct version of 2019, or spend the time to fix whatever they changed.
Yeah.
But 2017 will probably work because it's before whatever they did.
I believe.
Fingers crossed. Assuming I'm right at all about this doc. I mean, I know the Docker stuff is a possibility, but it's one of those like, oh, your software's not working? Oh, I bet it was a rootkit virus. Like
Yeah,
it's never a rootkit virus, but as soon as everybody heard that those existed, that was it. Did everything. Your computer's running
Yeah,
slow.
no, they
it's gotta be a
probably
rootkit.
switched. So at some point, latest was probably an image containing SQL 2017, which works for my
possibly.
application.
Possibly.
And then they switched latest to be tagged to a 2019 image. And
Yeah.
my application, I don't think, is handling that properly.
Got it.
We will find out.
It's also possible that 2019 latest was just updated here the last.
Well,
That was
and we weren't.
in
I
April.
wasn't even pulling latest. I was just pulling whatever, and
You-
that
you
should
were
be
pulling latest. It's
Well, I
specified.
wasn't pulling the tag of latest.
Right.
I was
but
getting
the default is latest. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, so like since you didn't tag it,
They just gave me whatever.
Yeah. All it does is go, oh, you've already got server. You're good. And it doesn't do anything.
Yep.
And that was the last time I ran this was probably before 4.6 is when they updated that. I wonder if they even mention it.
They might mention it, but the information is lost.
Yeah.
There's no
There's
record
still-
of the hashes for different versions.
They're still back on Ubuntu 16 though. It's kind of
Arg.
No, it blew up again. Wes, what did you do?
Is it the same thing?
This is why we can't have nice things.
Is this different? No, global invariant mode is not supported. Well, so it wants that to be supported, but it's not. Is there maybe a configuration option that you have to pass into the image, to the container?
I don't know.
Search for the global invariant.
That's what I'm doing.
It's strange that it did work, and now
Yeah.
even going back,
Oh, but did you updated?
I've probably updated, yes.
he's certainly updated since 2019.
No, so last time we were working on Speaker Meet, we were working on was it the search?
Yeah, we did the Azure. Well, I forget
The
what we call
Azure
it
search, but that wouldn't have effect on this.
now. No, shouldn't.
Yeah.
And it ran at that time, but it probably wasn't creating database. I'm gonna guess the database already existed at that point. Yeah, did you do the Googles for the globalization, global whatever it is? System no can has exception. Tim, son of Steve, suggests it's Alpine versus Debian images. Or are you
Yeah.
saying like the epic battle, or
Let's try it.
John's like undo all the things?
So I'm gonna go to here and tag it to 2017 latest, just for funsies. And back to Debian.
Right, since
Go for it.
the ASP.NET host probably was not the problem. We're thinking it was a SQL issue at this point. So yeah.
Yep. Sounds reasonable.
Stupid Alpine. Well, stupid SQL client.
You're doing full text search in this?
No,
No.
Azure Cognitive Search.
Okay.
That's what they call it.
Yeah, so I'm seeing, but this says that version with Alpine, and that doesn't. Weird.
So they added something to NetCore and EF, and it requires a feature that was not on Alpine, I guess, which might be that globalization thing.
Got it.
I'm sure you could add it back in though somehow.
But
Yeah, like that. Whatever.
Let's see if this works,
just
and then
see
we
if this
can try
works,
that
yeah.
again. Wes, are you happy now? How am I pushing the? Oh, how are we pushing the data to cognitive search? Inside. Which browser? This one. Forgive me, I can't actually see the tabs, so I'm gonna click around a little bit. Inside resource group. We've got our database. So the database containing the speakers, the conferences, and the user groups are there. They all have the same basic shape, the database tables. Then there is a view that sits over top of them, and that view can basically assembles them all together and adds a column of type for speaker, user group, or conference. And then we've got an indexer in Azure Cognitive Search that is currently turned off, but you can run it whenever. And then it runs by reading the data from the view and then populates it. And then inside the .NET code, inside the API, there's a search endpoint, and we use the SDK in there to call into Cognitive Search. There, now we're back running. So yeah, it was the 2017. All right, so
you
now
did,
let's
you
try.
did get got by the
Yeah.
a random Docker update.
Yep.
Ooh, could that be what was killing the? Well, no, because you weren't running the Docker. In the
No,
deployed site.
but it could.
If it's an
No.
issue with 2019, no. I mean, it would have had to.
Oh, it was probably trying to run up to spin up, and since it actually wasn't connected to anything, it was immediately dying.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I do have the ensure created, so that's probably
Same
Yeah,
same
that's
code,
possible.
but different reason.
Yep. Yeah,
Yep.
that may be why the app is not going.
All right. So
At about 10:05, we resolve everything.
Yeah, yeah.
you're welcome.
2 minutes. You're 2 minutes early, so we need to verificate. Can
Docker
we see it
compose.
running?
Running. That
Yeah,
was
like,
running.
Did you show the page?
Yeah, let's see the.
And then of course you have to push it up, and then Wesley has to try it.
Was he still with us? And sorry, Tech Workbench, did that answer the question about getting the data to Cognitive Search? So the integration tests are running, the API was logging out, all of the integration tests passed. I think it's this one. Yep, it's this one because that's Visual Studio. This is what I'm running. Here is the API opening up over there, and you can't see it. And we go to Swagger.
Beautiful.
Woohoo!
And just for funsies, Seek. Ta-da. Anything else fun? No. Redis.
Yeah, just go explore your Redis keys. Okay, cool. So get that pushed up, and then we'll see if that fixes Wesley's problem. That'll be fun.
Straight to the main branch.
It's the only way to go.
Tim, son of Steve, I undid all of the ash to bash and everything for the Debian, so yeah, we should be good there.
Yeah, no longer
But I
bashing
appreciate
the ash.
appreciate the double check.
We are bashing the ash?
We are bash, yes.
Of course.
And there is an indexer running. It is currently off because we haven't added any additional anything, speakers, user groups, or meetups in a long while. And I was gonna set up either like a trigger or an Azure function or something to run on a time basis, maybe. So here is the search service. Here are the indexes. So here's our index of search. There are 46. Hey, look. AZ Mask is working.
Yay.
There are 46 documents. So that's speakers, user groups, and meetups or conferences together. Here are the fields. I thought at one point I had them. Scoring. Yeah, scoring profiles are name has 5, 3, description, all that fun stuff. What were you saying?
Those are formatted ugly at the top.
Yeah, it might be the dark mode. I don't know. And then if we go back and look at the indexer, the last time it ran was successful 8 months ago, because haven't really added anything in a while.
You pushed, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So Wesley, you're free to pull it down, prune your Docker, and try again.
So the data source is the data source to the database, and I think the index is actually the name of the view. Is I named it search because that made sense at the time. And there's the definition, but that's really just the JSON.
Docker space system space prune space -af. Yeah, that one.
No. Delay that last.
Belay that order.
It was this. That one. Bandwidth caps.
He can download as much as he wants. It just takes a while.
It's the upload is just terrible.
Mine was just doubled for free. So
Yeah, I called to ask what our options were, and they said, "Oh, you're up for a free upgrade." I'm like, okay, yeah, let's do that.
You now have 50 megabytes.
Pretty much.
well, and the reality is, like, I think they said the download speed was was doubled, but usually it's the upload speed where my bottleneck is.
Yeah. We doubled your download, halved your upload. You're good to go.
You're good to go. We just
Jerks. Yeah, let's kill that. So
I mean,
that then I can.
very, very few things will actually. I mean, you could certainly have multiple people in the house, but very few things will actually take advantage of those super fast downloads.
Streaming on Twitch.
Well, the uploading is when you're streaming, you're uploading the stream.
Yeah. Well, I'm uploading a video to you, and
I understood data caps. I think we all. They're making fun of me because my speed has been notoriously garbage.
Now,
even though Ash is out in the middle of nowhere.
I'm in the middle of nowhere.
To be fair, your and Ash's internets are terrible.
Right.
Yes.
But Ash lives in the middle of nowhere, and he's Amish, so it's
I have
to be
the
expected.
cornfield surrounding me.
How are you going to disguise the Tesla satellite dish thing?
That's that. Well, and I'm also kind of curious where that is because they said I had one coming.
Oh,
and then it's been crickets.
No, they said, "Oh, you've got what's coming. You're going to get what's coming to you." Is what they said. You misunderstood.
It'll get to your house when they fulfill John's Tesla truck order.
Right. Just keep holding your breath.
I won't be doing that, actually. No, I think when I completed it, they're like, "Yeah, these orders will be sent right away, but they may take up to 6 months to get to you." So,
you know what?
Yeah, we're sending them on foot.
I could do Alpine in the.
You could do Alpine.
Integration
you
test.
Just have to, turn on or add that package.
Yeah. Well, let me do the integration test first. Yeah, this one. And and it doesn't actually need a second one. What are you doing? What are you doing? Stop it.
What?
Visual Studio sees the Docker Compose project, and she's like, "Oh, let me go ahead and build that as soon as you open the thing."
Oh yeah.
It's just trying to be helpful, okay?
Stop it. Anything else in here? Should I?
I am actually.
Should I tag Redis and Seek?
Uh,
I mean, they are tagged at Alpine and latest, but
Yeah, it depends on how much you're worried that they're going to do an update that breaks stuff.
indeed.
well, obviously not at all. Wes will tell me when it just doesn't work.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, like, I'm really glad that Wes actually found that now, because, like, you know, in a few months when we're trying to turn this all into Kubernetes, could you imagine if you had this problem while trying to implement Kubernetes?
Probably
No.
will happen again.
Yes, absolutely.
When you're trying to do something with Kubernetes, if there's something that can go wrong, it will go wrong.
Is that why we didn't really get it running?
Yes.
Wait, Tech Workbench has 25 up and 90 down.
That's
That's not terrible. I mean,
at
that's
least as good as John's.
That's what I had. Yeah.
That's pretty close to. That might be exactly what I had. I had 20 down
20 down.
or 20. No, I'm sorry, 20 up.
20 up.
Now I've got. Is that right? No, I think I had 10 up. Hold on.
Yeah, your
Originally,
terrible.
you had
like 10
10
or
up.
15. Yeah.
You
I think
had
I have
original.
20 up now.
Yes, I think you do.
Go 500, 500.
Stop it, Clayton. I think we talked about this. Read the room.
I'm not even in like a nice
Room.
Yes.
Yeah,
I agree,
900
Tech
900 would be
Workbench.
super nice.
800 down and 20 up.
Yeah.
That's
See, like,
awfully
I don't.
disparate.
I don't think you can use 800 down. Almost.
No.
Don't challenge somebody.
Well, you can. Like, there are things you can do. Like,
I'm on the Usenet downloading
well,
all
if you're
the
like
things.
downloading video games or something like that, like Steam and all those sort of things.
Thanks
Those
for
things
the
will use,
follow.
or if you have got a lot of them, but like, yeah, torrenting.
Thanks for the follow, Agsalam. I'm so sorry. Feel free to help us if you can. Wes, I am on the Spectrum. Also, Spectrum Internet. Yeah, I am currently. I think we are 400 down, 20 up. That was doubled, so we were 200 down, 10 up. I think. Okay, Alpine works with the integration test project, so that's.
Yeah, and I was on Spectrum, but
I believe that.
the cost was so high, and what you got for it was nothing, and they're not willing to work with you. If you're like, hey, I'm gonna like leave you if you don't give me a better deal. Oh, sorry, that deal's only for our new customers. Sorry, well, I'm gone.
Then you become a new customer.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, you've got a better situation, I think.
It's just like-
that's all I have. I can only get Spectrum.
it's just like work. You know, like, oh, well, the other guy's offering 20K more. I mean,
All right, we'll go Alpine for integration tests. Docker.
you don't change houses like John changes jobs, do you, Wesley?
Appreciate that. You could have said cars, but hey, whatever. Yeah, the car started screwing up again. It was like 6 months ago. It stuttered, and they had to replace like a vacuum seal valve, something, I don't know. Then 3 months ago, it stuttered, and it happened to be a family of squirrels living in the engine compartment. It's torn apart everything, so they had to rip that apart and repair and replace a bunch of stuff. And then yesterday or the day before, it started stuttering again. So
Yeah,
can't wait to find out what that is.
John didn't get a new car for a whole year, so he started
Yeah.
putting acorns in the engine, sawdust in the gas tank, just anything.
Yeah, I have been known to get a new car when the tires are in need of replacement. Yes. All right. So do we want to do Alpine with this one, and then tell me what I was supposed to do here?
Well, you had the code bit up earlier.
Yeah, I think I closed that.
Probably.
Did I? Yeah.
It's easy. It's easy enough to
Oh
find
wait.
those.
Oh wait. Oh wait.
Oh, there it is, right there.
Yep, there it is. Oh, that was it.
Oh,
That one.
right there. That one.
Alpine.
Copy pasta.
Ash. Alpine.
I'd run it before. Oh, okay. Well, you're still doing that part.
Yeah.
Here.
Yep.
No. There.
Yep. No, I put it up. Yeah, put it right up there.
Yeah. Well, hold on. No. It needs to go in the
In the next one. In the runtime, not the build
That is the
time.
runtime.
You're right.
So they do
yeah,
runtime,
you're
and then
good.
they do.
Yeah.
It is confusing, and I personally switch it around. So you do build, and then I pull my runtime in. But that way you don't because you're messing with the runtime, then you go to a build image, and then you start messing with the runtime again with the output of the build image. And I think I don't know why. I think it's a little bit just confusing.
Yeah, this was right click add Docker
Yes.
add Docker orchestration.
They haven't changed it yet. So, but whenever I do, I go in and reorder it personally.
Submit a PR.
It's fair. I should do that.
Actually, are you still connected? It doesn't show you as connected.
He got booted.
No,
earlier.
because you closed it.
Yeah. Sometimes the connection stays open though.
It's like, yeah. Just checking. I wanted to make sure that you were off.
Quick add auto mapper. Pass 3. Hey, look.
Ta-da!
Yay!
Wasn't running yet though, was it?
Yeah, it's running.
They were running.
The integration test hit the API.
Okay, cool. Ta-da! Wesley, you get that running yet? The world must know.
He fell asleep.
He was just chatting, or somebody in the same room with him anyway.
No. Sweet. Thanks, Tech Workbench.
Wait, why is there an error? Do you want to jump on the call and we'll walk through it? Ash, can you run it?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me try.
He's
Oh,
Oh.
Wesley's like, it actually worked on my computer from the beginning. I just
you have a call in 10 minutes.
any call after 9 o'clock.
That's not a work related call, is it?
Well, maybe
had
not
those.
for the job you know about.
All right.
We just built pipelines. That stuff can be automatic.
That's another reason that I like to prune, so that next time I do run, hopefully I'd get the new stuff and recognize that everything just blew up.
Yeah, I probably prune once a week when I'm working on a Docker project, Docker-based project.
That and, that fresh pull down and build was 4 gigs. So I think that's a pretty good place to stop for the evening. Unless, Ash, you were actually pulling that
I am
down.
pulling it down right now, but we can.
No, we got to at least know that
Let's find out.
it's where.
Remember, we're on my internet, so yeah.
Oh, Clayton, you want to pull that down?
Another 15 minutes. No.
Oh,
I don't even have your repo on my machine.
well, that's why I said pull it. You would have to get updates anyway. Jeez.
All right. Get
So the
command,
race.
get bash.
Can Clayton clone the repo and launch it
And get it to build before.
before my? No
What's
is going to be the answer.
give me the repo. Copy
I'm-
the paste it into the thing.
I'm putting it into chat for everyone. Tech Workbench is going to pull it down before all of you.
That's possible. Oh. Yeah, sure. Okay, CD.
So for an end-to-end deploy, usually there's just like, I want to see it work and click through it, click around, make sure it's just all good. If we can, if there's some like automated smoke tests that just make sure it doesn't blow up, those are usually pretty nice. But
Still getting the format of the initialization string.
whatever.
what?
Shouldn't.
I don't know. I'll find out in a second. What's up? And you pruned?
Yeah. Oh, Wes?
Yeah,
you mean?
yeah, Wesley. Because if Wesley didn't prune, then it's not gonna. Okay.
I'm getting a could not. This is definitely a Docker issue for me, but cannot start API ports available. Listen, TCP bind attempt made it out of socket in a way forbidden that by its access permissions.
I don't have source core and all this junk. Skipping project. Blah blah blah. Oh, that's so Ash. That's probably why you're like, oh, it's in the CLI now, or whatever. So it was Docker dash compose up, but now I guess you can just do Docker space compose space up, whatever.
Yeah, that was new to me as well.
SQL Server detected one socket. Database steps and things and indexes. Executed action. There seems to be an issue up here. No. There we go. Passed. What was it? Localhost what?
I don't know. It's not running right now. It's building.
Yeah, no, but for me.
I don't know. You're going to have to open Docker. Oh, now our pictures are gone.
Speaker meet, and then API 1.
Yep.
And then /swagger, right?
Yep.
Boom. And I didn't have anything. So all I did was Docker compose build, Docker compose up.
Well, and he said that this was the first ever thing, ever attempted any Docker.
Right,
So
right.
it's
it
very
got,
well that
it got all dirty when it messed
Yeah.
up the first time.
yeah. And so maybe something was running, something didn't get pruned, something is running.
Yeah, because it won't
Yeah,
prune
it-
active containers, right?
Yeah, so you got to shut down the ones that are
So
running. If any made it to a running state, you would have to kill them.
Docker ps-a.
So if any of these are
Yeah,
running,
so-
you can go and stop them.
So even though it failed, or well, so no, it worked. But even though I've closed it, it still says that it's it
Running.
exited, but it still has as a container as a process.
Hmm.
So you have to.
Andy's leaving us for his deployment.
Okay, have fun, Wesley.
I think that's fair. I appreciate it.
Anyway,
Thanks for hanging out.
I have no doubt that if he got Docker completely cleaned out, that it would work because
Yeah, something was likely running at the time when prune was run, and it didn't prune it.
And everything is working for me as well.
Okay.
The only thing that I'm running into is actually running it, and it's running into like a port permission for some stupid reason.
you
I
got
don't-
something else running on some
Something
port.
else is bound
I
to it.
tried. I did a netstat and looked, but it didn't work. So I'm trying to restart Docker.
Wait, are you on the Windows inside the Linux running the app with the thing?
No.
Yes. Yeah, that's your problem.
Oh man.
Well, I think that's probably a good place to end for the evening. Chat, thanks for hanging out and asking good questions and derailing us as much as you could. Miraculously, we were able to get some things done. We did get the multi-stage pipelines going. We got the Docker containers running on Alpine, making good progress on some things, and looking forward to a good presentation next month on some multi-stage builds and moving DevOps closer to dev. So that should be great. With that, we will call it an evening. We will be back next week for the live broadcast of the podcast at 6 p.m. Eastern on Monday, and then live coding live Wednesday, next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So be sure to like, follow, subscribe. If you've got an Amazon Prime account, you can subscribe and follow us and do the things there as well for free. We would appreciate it. Leave us any feedback. Follow us on Twitter. Do all the things. We will rate our friend Tail Learn Code and say good night, everybody.
Yeah, good to hear that you got it running, Tim. Good night.